and there was a response to the gospel. Anytime. And people became converted. Within a span of 15 to 20 years, the whole countryside became Christianized. And one of them was my grandfather on my mother's side, who was one of the first 10 Christians. And they were trained, they were educated by the British, and they were trained to be missionaries. So they went from one village to another preaching. Sometimes they were welcomed with stones. Sometimes they were refused to entry into the village. Sometimes they listened. But once the chief of the village became Christian, then others became to be Christians. And whole villages, like wildfire, whole place began. There were miracles, there were revivals going on. And even though they were Presbyterians, they were charismatic. Have you seen charismatic Presbyterians? Usually Presbyterians are very dry in their worship and very solemn and formal. But here it's a different story. And I want to show something about that. People who gave, they were willing to give. Is it coming? Anytime.
Lalua lives in a tiny remote village in Mizoram. Her family sustains on a meager income of less than $1 a day. Despite abject poverty, simple women like Lalua are spearheading a revolution that is sweeping the world of missions. Their movement, Bufai Thumb, or a handful of rice. Bufai Thumb is a practice where each Mizo family puts aside a handful of rice every time they cook a meal, and later gather it and offer it to the church. The church in turn sells the rice and generates income to support its work.
Rice has been the staple food of the people of Israel. You are giving what is basic, essential, fundamental to your life. You are sharing that with God.
With the passage of time, people have given more than rice, vegetables, firewood, cereals, and their regular tithes, empowering the church to be self-sufficient.
Mizoram state is the most backward state in India, and we are the poorest of the poor, but still we can raise funds for the ministry of the Lord. At the close of this last fiscal year, we received altogether around 13 million US dollars. Out of that, 12% of our total income is from the handful of rice collection.
With 1,800 missionaries in India and many overseas, the Mizoram Church is known as a missionary church world over. This success is attributed to their selfless and creative giving.
It is not our richness or our poverty that make us serve the Lord, but our willingness. So we Mizo people say, as long as we have something to eat every day, we have something to give to God every day.
Thank you. Praise God. maybe you didn't catch everything. As you know, it's not just in this place, but I know in Indonesia also, in some parts, they do the same thing. In Burma, they do the same thing. And before they cook their rice in the morning, they will take a handful, leave it separate. By the end of the week, it will be collected and brought to the church, and the church will sell it and give it for missions. And this Mizoram place, a place where there are less than 1 million people, and their per capita income is only 370, and that is quite low. And yet, how could they give? They gave because they gave beyond their means. They gave money where it's possible. Sometimes a farmer will bring his pig, one huge big pig, bring it to church. Say, I want to donate this for missions. The church will accept it and they will sell that pig. Or a cow, or vegetables, or anything they could bring. What about the children? We were children at that time, and sometimes we would bring a firewood from the forest firewood, because there was no gas at that time. Long time ago, it's a good thing. And when we brought that firewood, in a Sunday school, there were 200 people, 200 kids. That means 200 pieces of firewood was brought to church. And that firewood would be sold. So even the kids who had no money were able to give something. So the whole family of every member of the church was mobilized to give. Now I want to give you one statistics, and that here I've collected from these two books. These are approximate, rough, okay? Some are conservative number. Who are the largest sending missionary bodies? We think of Korea, population more than 50 million. The GNP is about 11,000 US dollars. They have sent out 12,000 missionaries. Today, much more, many more. In USA, 400 million population. Their GNP, 30,000 or more. They have sent out 60,000 missionaries. This is a bit old, but now they may have sent more. Singapore, say, 4 million. Their GNP is higher than US. Philippines, let's say it's 80 million. GNP, is this correct? Is it a bit exaggerated? They've sent out more than 3,000 missionaries. Taiwan, 23 million people. Their GNP is quite high, a little higher than Philippines. Only a little. They've sent out only 7 officially. Unofficially, there are others, okay? And if you think of the OFW Christians who plant churches everywhere, if we include them, the number here, 3,000 would have gone much higher for Philippines. And Taiwan. Now, Mizoram, a small state, it's not even a country, about 1 million. Per capita income, 370. They have sent out more than 3,000. 1,800 was only for the Presbyterian churches. The Baptists are doing the same. The Pentecostals are doing the same. Salvation Army is doing the same. And so, the reason why they could send so many was because of this handful of rice, giving beyond their needs. And God has blessed them. Supposing all the American churches gave the way the Mizo people gave, how many missionaries will there be? There will be approximately 4 million missionaries. If they were willing to give like the Mizo people. And I have here also, if the Koreans give, they, like the Mizo people, they'll have more than 360,000 missionaries. If the Philippines will have more than almost 10,000 missionaries officially. Unofficially, maybe more. So it would have increased much, much more. And I'm thinking of Taiwan. Taiwan, such a rich place, such a convenient place. They have sent only 700 officially. And usually it is not cross-cultural. It is to their own people, in Siberia maybe, or in Africa, or in South America. To go cross-cultural missionary is very difficult. And so even the giving is difficult. They would have actually sent 21,000 missionaries. We were trying to raise money for the OFW ministry among Taiwanese churches. It was not easy. They don't have much burden. Although they are willing to help, they know they should be helping, but they don't have a budget. People are not willing to give. They are only giving for their own church needs. But here are people who are appreciative, like the Macedonians. Their hearts have been touched, enlightened, and freed by the Holy Spirit, willing to give because they are so grateful to God. And as an act of appreciation to God, they gave. As an act of worship, they gave. As partners in the ministry with God, in God's kingdom, they gave. So they gave to their utmost. And that is how the Jerusalem church was blessed and benefited. And I think this is what I want to share with you today. Because there's one more thing. Chapter 8, verse 9. Can you read that? One more example. Apostle Paul gives. 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 9. The supreme example. It says in the supreme example, and this is the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, though he was rich, yet he became poor. He chose to become poor. He deliberately chose to become poor. He was born in a poor family. And then he identified and made himself as a slave. Actually, it's not a servant, it's a slave. Slaves have no rights, have given up all their rights. So he was willing to become a slave. That was the ultimate, supreme giving of oneself in God's kingdom and in God's purpose. So the supreme example is Jesus Christ. So Macedonians were the example. Now he's talking about Jesus Christ, extreme giving. And that is what should depict or exemplify the life of Christians. Because they have been given the amazing grace. God's inexpressible love has been given to them. Their gifts and their lives should also reflect that kind of life, what Christ has given. And so Christ is the example. He deliberately chose. He deliberately chose. No. From riches of glory, Jesus came. Supposing you came from the riches of glory, how would you come to Taiwan? You would not come as an OFW. You will come in all your glory on your complexion. And if you belong to a different country and you're an ambassador or a president, then you'll come with all the glory of that country. Jesus did not do that. Jesus did not come with bulletproof cars or a private jet plane with bodyguards everywhere. No, he did not. He came as a simple man. And this is where he sets the example, the supreme, ultimate example of what giving is. He chose to become poor and to demonstrate God's love in the only way possible. And that is to come and love us to death and give us new life. Is that your God? Is that whom you worship? Is that the Jesus Christ you know? Do you know that kind of Jesus Christ who gave everything? I think that is the Christ we worship. So here it comes to demonstrate a higher kind of love and to give everything that we have. If you have found Jesus Christ in your life, you've known his love, his unsurpassing, amazing grace, then you too will respond, I believe, in a similar fashion. And this is why it's wonderful. So the question with our subject is, are you sowing the good deeds of living for God or by giving? How is your giving? I'm not asking you all to give beyond your means. No, it is up to you and God. There's no compulsion, Apostle Paul says. He doesn't say you should give 1/10. You should give according to the response you know in appreciating God's love. Then love God's love, and your love will find a way to give, to express it in giving. Amen? Amen. So we will give to reflect God's love. Are you a generous sower who gives? I remember in the Philippines one, we talked about this. We have just started a church on EDSA near Camp Inaldo and Camp Crane. We started a church called Faith Fellowship. We had all kinds of people coming, and it was meant for the upper class, air conditioning. Earlier churches, one of the early churches had air conditioning. And they were movie stars or they business people and doctors. And along with them came a lot of people, they're too long, all kinds of people, they came along. And as they came, there were more of them than the people we were trying to reach. Because all these churches were going to the slaughter area, to Smoky Mountain, to other places, to start churches. But here they were, they came. And one day, the pastor, after reading a message, after he went back, he returned from America, he challenged the members to give. If they give just 1/10, God will reward you. And if God does not reward you, we will return you the money. So there was a big challenge, and people started giving. After 3 months, the time limit, one of the members came back and he said, "Pastor, could you please return me my money? I did not receive the tenfold or the blessing that you said we will receive if you give 1/10." So he took back all his money, and it was 7,777 pesos. Exactly 7 also. It's possible our intention of giving a sower can be very fleshly from the world's point of view, from impressing people. And so here it is not what Paul is asking. It is from the example of the Macedonians, who are poor. They continue to be poor. They never became millionaires. Jesus was never rich either. He was poor. And the apostles who followed Jesus were always poor, including the apostle Paul. None of them were. They were supposed to be millionaires, isn't it? If we think that there is prosperity in giving 1/10. No, they were poor people. The church in Jerusalem were poor people. The church in Macedonia, Thessalonica, Philippi, Berea, they were poor. They continued to be poor. But they were rich in God. They were rich in relationships. They were rich in reaching out to people, impressing other people, leading them into God's kingdom. Everywhere they went, the whole of Europe became Christianized because of these poor people. And we praise God that they were worthy partners to build God's kingdom. And here they were, sowing sparingly. And I put that, living simply to give more. This is a difficult subject. We don't believe in dressing simply. We must have the best hairstyle, best shoes, brand names. It must be a Nike or a handbag that has a brand name. It must be more than 2,000 NT dollars. Of course, you want to give it to the people you love. So you salute more. And you go back home filled with things. Expression of love. So that's part of the culture. But here, when you live among poor people, it's difficult. If you want to give beyond what is expected, you have to cut down, I think, to live simple lives. We had a big problem. We were in a prayer meeting in community. Squatter, many of them squatters, many of them daily laborers. And what they received, they finished off by the evening, what they could earn. If they got sick, they had no money. So we were having prayer meeting that day. But one of our members is a jeweler, sells jewelry, pearl, gold, diamonds. And they have a shop in Cubao. They have a shop in London. And that day, she needed about 120,000 US dollars. And she was very sincere. She asked everybody, please pray, because my business is going to go down if I don't get it this week. And the poor people, the rest of the members, they were shocked. How could a person have so much money and need so much money? Our family lives with 100 pesos a day, and yes, she needs a million, more than a million pesos this week. So here we are, living simply. We have to measure, think carefully how we can cut down our expenses and give more. I try to follow that too. I'm not just preaching it to you. Remember I told you once, there was a friend who wanted to give me a gold watch. Heavy, nice. Because I had helped him to study. He lived with me. I did not charge him anything. Whatever we had, we shared. If he received money, we shared. If I received my salary, we shared. So, and he was able to complete his studies. And he was so grateful. And then